I wouldn't be, I'll stay in the back garden with me dog. I think it's the greatest load of punts and wants. All the Americans are over here. Oh my God, I love this. I love Ireland. They doing my.
Welcome back to Terrifying 10. This man couldn't have said it better. St. Patrick's Day has really become a day, or for some, an entire weekend filled with nothing but pints and shots. Whether you take it green or not, one thing is for sure. If you imbibe too much, you might end up on this list.
Oh, man!
10 of the dumbest crimes committed on St. Patrick's Day. And stay tuned for number 10 because it's my all-time favorite. Number 1, the not-so-happy little leprechaun. This is Sergeant James Crummich. As you can see by his attire in this photo and his title, obviously, he is a police sergeant. Turns out he is also a huge fan of St. Patrick's Day. Back in 2012, James was 47 and decided he was not going to miss a night out joining in on the festivities. And join in he did. Around 5:45 p.m., he decided to call it an early night. Didn't want to get too tipsy. The only problem with this was that he was completely smashed, and little did he know his car was about to be smashed too. On his way home, he crashed his personal vehicle, and of course, the cops showed up. One look at him, and they knew he was lit like a man on St. Patrick's Day. He was taken into custody and had his photo taken. Say cheese! No one was injured in the crash, except maybe for the sergeant's ego. He was immediately placed on leave, and we are being advised to presume he is innocent until proven guilty. We'll see how that goes down. Number 2, St. Patrick's Day Dum Dum. Next up, we have Jordan. He was from Dallas, Texas at the time of the incident. And for some reason, Jordan thought it was an awesome idea to try and fight a Dallas police officer while he was binging his way down the street. For obvious reasons, this did not go as planned, unless he planned on getting arrested. Then, it went perfectly. Oh, and the best or worst or possibly most ironic part of the whole ordeal, Jordan's last name is Booze. Yes, Booze got into an altercation after allegedly stealing something from another man, and then accidentally swinging at a cop before going full berserk. Moving on to number 3, Melee McDonald's. After several hours of binge drinking, these drunken idiots wouldn't let normal, less drunken idiots enjoy their Big Macs at McDonald's in New York City. Here's a peek for yourself.
Please. Oh my God! Calm it down! Oh my God!
He's gonna kill a guy. Look, his eyes are popping out.
I don't want to go home.
This St. Patty's Day, please do your best to avoid all of the styles of brawls that might be happening at a fast food establishment near you. Number 4, no pot of gold for you. David Cotton apparently had a thing for holidays and a thing for costumes, or quite possibly both. Back in December, 3 days before Christmas to be exact, Cotton, 20 years old, had successfully robbed a bank while fully disguised as Santa Claus. But that wasn't enough, because come St. Patrick's Day, he thought he would do it again, only this time dressed as a leprechaun. Duh! This time, his getaway wasn't so smooth, and for a while, he had police hot on his golden leprechaun trail. At some point, both him and the getaway driver got out of their car, and they were both shot, and they both died. So, does that qualify them as a dumb criminal and Darwin winners? Tell me what you think in the comment below, and why not give that like button a high five while you're down there? Oh, shoot. St. Patrick's Day, I was gonna wear my green shirt and you can't even see me. Silly green screen. Number 5, the St. Patrick's Day heist. These next men decided they were going to carry out an art heist during a St. Patrick's Day celebration. In the 1990s, these criminals realized that the parade that Boston was holding for the special day was a perfect distraction. It was just what they needed. The men dressed up as Boston police officers, descended upon the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, and quickly convinced security guards that they were there responding to a call about a disturbance on the property. They tied the guards up and proceeded to take 13 artworks from artists such as Rembrandt, Vermeer, and Monet. The heist was valued to be at a loss of $500 million, making that robbery the largest private property theft ever. The works were never returned, nor were the suspects ever arrested, although in 2013 the FBI claimed to know their identity. Several empty frames still hang in the Dutch room of the museum in homage to pieces still missing and as placeholders for if and hopefully when they are returned. Number 6. Fireball. In 2010, on St. Patrick's Day Eve, a woman came home to find a passed-out man blocking her front door. Upon closer inspection, she noticed the man was wearing an FDNY uniform. Windsor Terrace resident Lauren Hill. No, not her. That would have been funny though, huh? Well, Miss Hill tried to nudge the firefighter awake since he was blocking the door. Fearful that he might become belligerent, she instead decided to call 911. Probably a good choice. She told the dispatcher that the stranger was well dressed and in uniform, but his shoes were nowhere to be seen. While the identity of the man was never publicly released, Fire Commissioner Sal Casino said during the investigation, "It's not something I would expect of a firefighter in uniform. Maybe he left his uniform on to see if he could handle his fireballs better. Turns out he could not." Number 7. Fireball. Take 2. This one might be the most intense. In March 2015, a homeless man set himself on fire during a Hoboken St. Patrick's Day pub crawl. Police received a call just after 11 p.m. that a man was trying to set himself on fire. Once they arrived, they discovered that the unidentified man was indeed on fire, and in the middle of the road, in an area where 25 bars had signed a petition in the pub crawl. The man then began to scream as the fire started to spread from his jacket to his skin, but officers were able to get him to the ground and roll him over to put him out. He wasn't seriously injured, but he was transported to a nearby hospital. The crawl continued for business as usual, with 11 people arrested for everything from assault to drug possession. There were also over 100 violations of city ordinances, barring public drinking, and of course, urination. Sounds like a place I never need to go, and you shouldn't either, unless dumb criminals is your thing. Number 8. Roofing. This St. Patrick's Day blowout left 8 students injured after a roof collapsed. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly 1,000 students from a California college were partying at an off-campus St. Fratty's Day party. As we all know from this video, this one up here, frats have horrible reputations. When you're done watching this, I highly recommend that one. Well, they were all partying on the roof of a garage belonging to the university's baseball coach, and it collapsed, bringing 30 students down and injuring 8. What were the many partygoers doing on the roof? Roofing, a coined term by local students to describe the act of sitting on top of the roof while drinking beer. Very original and creative kids, I know. The town is now prohibiting anyone from being on a roof from now on any St. Patrick's Day going forward. Number 9. Blarney Blowout. The St. Patrick's Day celebration that descended into chaos and mass arrests. It was 2014, near the University of Massachusetts, and that is where we find Blarney's Blowout. And it quickly spiraled out of control as police in riot gear were pitted against thousands of drunken and unruly patrons. There were 52 arrests and 4 officers injured in the clashes that included some students throwing beer bottles, cans, and of course, snowballs. Oh, and 8 people were issued summons, according to Amherst police. Most charges were for disturbing the peace and open container violations, not surprising, but some were for assault and battery on an officer or another person. And about 90% of all of those charges were from the students at the university. I bet their parents were proud. While the university publicly denounced the students' behavior, the students themselves were upset by what they called aggressive police tactics. A lot of the people charged thought they were wrongly charged, something that often happens when you receive charges while intoxicated. It's a weird coincidence. Okay, everyone, time for my favorite. Number 10. Now you see him, now you don't. This leprechaun was spotted in a neighborhood, and eventually the entire neighborhood was outside trying to catch a glimpse. Here's a glimpse for you.
Some people in the Crichton area of Mobile say a leprechaun is taking up residence in their neighborhood.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun say yeah?
Eyewitnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This amateur sketch resembles what many of you say the leprechaun looks like. Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations for the image.
So it might not be a dumb criminal, but it was definitely dumb and hilarious, and I hope you thought it was too. Let me know your favorite St. Patrick's Day crime in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button, and why not subscribe while you're down there. It is free after all. Then go watch one of these videos, this one or this one, and I promise there will be way more dumb criminals and hilarious times. And as always, stay safe out there. True TT.